AI is everywhere. It is in the news, it is in your TV, in advertisements, likely in most of the platforms that you use on a daily basis, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. Um, and probably most of you and most of us have been using AI in some way, using either ChatGPT, Claude, or even through the platform that we're working with. But one of the things that I've noticed in the time that I've been using these different tools is that women are not embracing the tools as fast as men. But most importantly, we're not sharing about what we're learning. We're all using them in some way. And I think when we share our stories and the ways in which we're solving problems is super powerful. So not sharing with each other, I think it's a major problem. So what do you think, Leo?
That's exactly why we built She Runs on AI. Hello, everyone. My name is Leo Williamson, and I am so excited to tell you more about us and how we can help you. So, I wear many labels in my life. I am a mom of two toddlers. I own three rescue dogs. I have been an immigrant for over 15 years now, living in Argentina and now the United States. I have been in the corporate world working with organizations in their HR processes and teams for over 20 years. And one of the things that I have really noticed across all of the fields that I have been in is that, to Adri's point, we women tend to adopt AI a little bit at a slower pace than men, but also with a little bit more of cautious or even fear. And, we are facing the fourth industrial revolution. Historically, these revolutions tend to create inequalities for women. When I look back and I think of my daughter and the world that I want to leave behind for her and also for my son, I want to make sure that she doesn't have to fight in 20 years for closing a gap, a technology gap that we are working towards today to make sure that we are at the same level. What about you, Adri? What's your background?
Well, hello everyone. My name is Adriana O'Kane. Leo and I have many things in common. I have two kids. I have been in the corporate world for 20 years, and just like Leo, I'm an immigrant. I moved from Mexico over 15 years ago to the US. I've had the chance to work in Chile and many different places, and change has been a constant in my life. So when I think about AI I think about the change that we're going through. It's pretty exciting to me, the opportunities that are ahead of us. And in the past few years, I have been really going deeper into AI, not only in my role helping organizations translating strategy to execution, um, but over that time, I have really found really a passion for really integrating AI into our personal lives, in specifically the lives of women. There's so much opportunity to be gained from this technology, and I really want women to, with that caution, right? I think when I hear from women what are the concerns, it's a lot about what are we doing this for? What about sustainability? How do we do this in a way that is ethical? How do we think about the risks? So it's very important that with that value that women are bringing and doing it in in a really thoughtful way, it's important for us to think about the opportunities. The risks are real, but there's a lot of opportunities. So with She Runs on AI, really, we're all about the opportunity. This is not about fear or hey, you're going to miss out. We're running our own race, and what we want is exactly that, for women to look at AI and think, how can I use that technology to run my own race to help me get to wherever I want to get? So,
And
Leo, how did this start? Because we've been working on this for a while.
So, one of my favorite things about SheRunsOnAI is that just like many of our listeners today, it started with just a casual conversation between two friends, right? And, Adriana and I were just talking about AI specifically. And, I happened to mention a tool that I had been using to automate some of my daily tasks. And then she mentioned the same. And then I asked her back, like, how many women in your life are having this conversation that we are having today? And because I have been asking my friends around, hey, have you tried X tool? Have you tried Y tool? And we quickly pivoted to no, what did you do this past weekend, right? And so really, Adriana and I got our heads together, and it has started with WhatsApp notes. We both have a passion for women advancement and to make this world a better place for our kids and future generations. So we exchanged WhatsApp notes over and over again, and trying to think how we can make this work with, of course, with our 9 to 5 jobs, like many of you, right? When you have something that you're passionate about and you're starting to think about how we can take this off the ground, it starts with that passion, and then you hopefully take it to another level. So it started with two women sharing with each other, and that's how She Runs on AI was born, and that's what one of the things that makes it so profoundly unique.
Yeah, and something that I want to mention is creating this, starting this wouldn't have been possible without AI, right? I mean, if I tell you the amount of passion projects that have stayed as an idea and never been executed. But the difference with She Runs on AI was precisely that we could use AI to help us think, what could we build? How can we get this started? How do we get women engaged? So that has allowed us to work on this over the weekend at night while we exchange voice notes. So that to me is important that we mention. And this project has definitely evolved over time. It really started, Leo, sharing stories of other women, right? That was a whole starting point from this. Women are not sharing. Let's make sure that we bring women to the conversation, that we're sharing how we're all using it, because we know that that's going to inspire others to take action. And that idea has evolved, and now what we want to do is to uh, help women create that personal AI operating system. That's what this channel, this whole effort is built around. This is not a tips and tricks channel. There's already so many great videos and content out there. This is really about really helping you integrate it in a system that works for you. Most of the AI content out there is optimizing for output, but this channel, this effort wants to optimize for intention. So we say She Runs on AI not to go faster, but to go to places that we've never been before. It's about becoming sharper, smarter, be more intentional. That's really our North Star. So, Leo, can you share about like what will women get when they join us in the conversation?
Yeah, the way that we look at this, or I personally am a visual person, so I like to put things in my mind with images. So the way that I look at our operating system helping women is creating your own AI quilt, right? So if you have ever owned or wanted to make a quilt from scratch, you will notice that there are different patterns, there are different things that you can piece together to make it your own. That's exactly what we do with She Runs on AI. We're going to design an operating system using AI, the AI tools that you use on a daily basis, to create a system that works just for you, for your routine, for your concerns, for your hobbies. Everything is going to be tailored towards you. Really, I think that we live in a time of over information. If I see the word AI one more time in either my Instagram reel or my LinkedIn or even my phone, I'm just going to lose my mind, because all about it right now is tips and tricks to use XY tool. And let's be honest, we are already at our capacity. I personally am. Like, I cannot take on one more thing that I have to perfect, or I have to get curious about, because that mental load is already at capacity. So how can we make sure that we use what we have in the most efficient way? And I do want to use AI. So how can we make that work without having to be proficient on one specific tool? So no tech background required. curiosity is the only requirement to join us on She Runs on AI and creating your own operating system, or like I like to call it, your own AI quilt. And it happened to be that Adriana and I speak both English and Spanish, right? I'm from Venezuela. Adriana is from Mexico. We both live in the United States and have a passion about women and advancing women, regardless of the geographic that they are in. Right, Adri?
That's exactly right. And for the past year and a half, we've been sharing stories on LinkedIn, written articles. This community has been growing organically. This channel is part of that same conversation, but now live, unscripted, and reaching more women. And our hope here is simple, Leo. More than once in our lives, we have seen another woman do something that we could only dream of. And I took action many times because I saw other women do that thing. So if we all can do it, I'm sure you can do it too. So that's what She Runs on AI is here to do. We can't wait to run it with you. I would ask you to subscribe, and if this resonated with you, share it with someone on your network that you think will benefit from being part of the AI conversation. That's how this grows. So Leo, any final words?
Yeah, I think that what you said, Adri, is so critical. Inspiration is one of those things that move the world around. You either get inspired or you inspire others. And She Runs on AI is here to do both with you. So if this resonates, again, subscribe, reach out. We will love to work with you. And remember that we are here to run on AI with you.
Exactly. All right. Well, until next time, see you soon.